Rambling reviews. Rambling reviews. Rambling reviews. Oh god. Hello everyone and welcome to SliverStar Arcade and another episode of Rambling Reviews. The show that has no script, and I sit down in front of a mic and I ramble about a game I want to review. This time we're going to be talking about, I got this right. The Rainsdowne Players. Also, I don't know if that intro is going to get me anywhere. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, so, Rainsdowne Players. I got this game for less than $1. Yeah, here's the problem with no script. You don't really know what to talk about. You're just supposed to ramble. So, let's start with the basic idea of Rainsdowne Players. Alright, so the plot. You play as these two characters. You can name them, but for now we're going to call them Orange and Blue because of their hair color. Who are basically they're trying to run. They've basically bought or rented out a old rundown theater that they are trying to, bring back to life, and they're putting on two-person plays. And it's in a town called Rainsdowne, hence the Rainsdowne Players. That's the name of the game and what they call themselves in universe. They are also accompanied by some old friends, Snails, who isn't a snail, and Marjane, who I still don't know how to pronounce. And basically, they try to be the best actors they can be. That's the basic plot. In terms of gameplay, the gameplay, I don't know what genre you would put this game into, I'm going to be honest. At first I called it an RPG because I thought that's what it was based off the screenshots, but after I actually played it, now I'm not so sure. So, a majority of the game will actually just be you walking around and talking to the people of Rainsdowne, getting their ideas of, maybe issues they want solved or what kind of plays they want to put on. And doing that, you will get inspiration, and these inspirations are cards. Each card has a thing on it, so you might have an adventurer card, or a lake card, or a bear card, or a sword card, or the card wealth. And basically, this is where the core gameplay mechanic, I'll call it, actually doing plays. So when you go to do a play, you get 5 slots, which are, theme, location, purpose, encounter, encounter's the 4th one, and conclusion, right? And basically, you're supposed to mix and match your cards to get the best plays possible, and also to put on specific plays to solve people's quote-unquote quests, so that in hopes of them giving you another card, And basically you put on multiple plays, impress multiple people, and it's one of the ways you progress through the story, but, there's also other things, So, yeah, those are the 5 main card types, and so let's talk about, so once you actually start a play, in the beginning, you will only have your regular theater. And the way this works is it's a reaction game where the audience, in the background, Orange and Blue will do their play, and the audience will come up on either the left or right side of the stage and throw stuff on you. Usually people on the left side will throw stuff at Orange, who's on the left side of the stage. People on the right side will throw stuff at Blue, who's on the right side of the stage. And basically the way it works is, if somebody from the left is throwing something at the person on the left, you just press left on the D-pad or hit left on the stick, do it at the right timing, and they'll dodge. And vice versa for Blue, who's on the right. But multiple items will be thrown. The most common is bottle, which is just simple react to it. Then there's paper airplanes, which have like a 50-50 chance of actually going towards the target or just completely flying past. But then it gets hard because then you get like giga tomatoes, which, if thrown from the left side, will be aimed at the person on the right side. Then you've got rocks that are just super fast and impossible to dodge. And then you got fish, which, will land on a person, then you dodge, then it'll go to the next person on stage, then you dodge again. But there are other ones. There's a stage combat one and a what I'll call a karaoke one, which one of them is just a Simon Says game. Here's a bunch of directions, press them, and the other is just a rhythm game. Just press the button when the picture's in the circle. The thing about it is that the game will get very repetitious, and sometimes the game will leave you hints about where to go, but they aren't at all clear. And you will find yourself getting very lost and wanting to look up a guide. The problem is that there's not really a guide for this game, and you will have trouble trying to make progress. You can watch my Let's Play to just see that in real time. Speaking of real time, there's a time mechanic to the game. So basically, past a certain time point, you will no longer be able to do plays because everyone will be sleeping. And time passes every time you do a play. There is no way. Time is constantly moving. I think it's like 1 second in the real world is 1 minute in game, I think is how it works. So it goes by rather quickly, and there's no way to pause it. There is no pause button in the game. There's just it brings up a menu that you can use to quit to the main screen. There's also no save button. It's all automatically saved, and there's no multiple saves to my knowledge. So because of that, it's not really clear, and there's no way to really deal with the time system, right? Let's talk about the world of the game. The world of the game is, you're in a very classist society. You have the theater district, which is on the other side of the river. It's rich people. The theater academy's over there. The old royal family's over there. Then you have Rainsdowne. Rainsdowne is constantly raining in Rainsdowne. And it never rains in the theater district. And there's an actual reason for that in the game. The game has lore. And I actually commend the game on this one aspect because it's something I've always wondered. What would happen if you made a game in which you created all the lore, but instead of your character participating in the lore and the big events, they were just kind of there after the big events or during the big events, right? And I've always wanted to try that because I thought it was a cool idea. But this game demonstrates that it's not really that good of an idea because there is lore and it is interesting. The problem is that it's already happened and you don't really feel a part of it. You don't really feel attached to it, and you actually have to seek out the lore. There'll be a statue here, maybe a book in the library you can read, a person you might be able to talk to. But it does do a good job of world building, and it allows you to connect to some characters, and it helps you figure out maybe a twist in the story or two. So, I give it points for that. The main problem with this game, aside from it being confusing and, not very clear, is it suffers from glitches or poor coding. Because there have been many a times when, especially on the singing minigame, where I would input an action and it just simply would not pick up on it. And then there's another scripted, specific minigame that it gets real bad. There should be footage of that shown right now. And the thing about it is like, so yeah, they do keep different mini games and it is varied, but the weird controls definitely take away from it. Is how I'll put it. The weird controls definitely take away from it, and the game well, it doesn't really have an art style. The most art you will find, is on the cover. The title screen. Which, by the way, the title screen has no music, and there's not that much music in the game. Actually, there's probably like, honestly, less than 10 songs on the soundtrack in total, and I think even that is being generous. And it's all very pixelized, you know, sprites, you know. So there's also that to consider. In terms of replayability, uh next to none unless you want to try and 100% the game, which I would not recommend because it drove me insane. And once again, there's no guide for this online. I mean, I could probably single-handedly write a guide with how much time I spent just bumbling around trying to figure this game out, but hey, leave a comment if you want me to do a full guide of this game. I mean, hey, that's more videos for me to make, gives me something to do. But like, yeah, this game suffers heavily from the problem of, for the most part, it was just one guy coding and then a few friends helping out. Um, it really suffers from that. It was originally an itch.io game, I think, so like, it wasn't really meant to be taken seriously. That's why it's cheap. It's like for $5. I got it for less than $1 because it regularly goes on sale on the Switch, at least, for like 95% off. Uh, but yeah, so like, let me give you an example of a glitch. After a play, you will get money that you can use to buy cosmetic costumes or cards. But you can also go up. Like, the second you spawn, you can go up into another room, which will allow you to do another play. If you go into that room before the visual icon of you gaining money shows up, you do not gain that money. And, so I thought I found like a speedrun tactic, but in reality, I was actually missing out on a lot of money. So all in all, the thing is like, I want to rate games based on how much fun I've had, and I try to ignore the negative stuff. And by that I mean, like, I don't ignore glitches or bad story writing. I mean, as in, if I can't figure something out and I get super angry, or if I was already angry before playing the game, I try to ignore that. However, I will say that because this thing is confusing, like it will tell you what people want. It'll tell you, like, you can actually buy hints, and it'll tell you the cards that people want, and you can try a million different combinations of the same cards, of the same three cards, and you still won't be able to figure it out. You know, like, for example, would you put a princess as location in a play? Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. But apparently, that's what you gotta do to complete one of the quests. The developer said himself on a forum, like, and he himself said, yeah, I had to go back and check the code and make sure that was right. So, all in all, this game was definitely a weird experience. It's more like a combination of mini games and then a walk-in talking simulator. But there are many mini games throughout, like, the card game. Like, I know what's with me and playing card games in you know, in video games. Like, you had Bug Fables, and I'm pretty sure there are other games that have card games in them. But like, the card game in this game, pretty fun. But to wrap it all up, I would have to say there was definitely one or two times when I thoroughly enjoyed myself. The character Remy, love him. Love his over the top nature. Love everything about him, you know. And his minigame is super fun, you know. The reveal of what a character is, you know. When I found that, like, I freaked out. Like, I can play a clip for you guys, you know, right here.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Wait. The old lady. The old lady we keep talking to. She's.
And then, you know, there's also, like, other parts of the game I enjoyed. You know, the story was not bad for something simple. The problem is that you will spend, this game feels like it's short. Like in terms of story content, it looks like there isn't much, but this game took me hours and hours to beat because I just couldn't figure it out and because there's no guide online. So if you're going to play this game, I would say get it on sale for like a few cents. Maybe sink an afternoon into it. Wait for someone to actually, you know, put up a guide online and go from there. But like I said, there's like not much replayability, you know, and like the developer's obviously not going to fix a few things because I'm pretty sure he's moved on to other projects. But if you are the person who's determined to play weird and obscure games, this is definitely one of them. If I had to give it a rating, I know most people treat ratings as like anything below 5 doesn't, any 5 and below doesn't exist, and then 6 is bad. I want to use the full scale of, you know, 1 to 10, like 1 being unplayable, 2 being a bad game, like, you know. And I know all my other reviews haven't been so good because, you know, I've given like every other game like what, 7 and above. This game I would give a 3 or 4. You know, it's not a terrible game. It's playable and it's sometimes enjoyable. But from an actual game that, you know, was made with serious intent, you know, it's not a student project. They actually had people come on, like, they're trying to treat this as a professional, you know, one person indie games. And the thing is like I know it's not fair to compare it to things like FNAF or Undertale, but the thing is, you gotta think those games were also made by like what, one person and then a friend or two or some family members, and those games are like now worldwide phenomena. Or I don't know how you say that word. You know, but expecting that from every one person indie developer is not fair. You know, like this is definitely better than anything I could make. You know, and like it shows. You know, there's a simple sprite work. You know, and the code in, like the game will not break on you, so is automatically better than, you know, most one person games. And it is a game. You know, it's not a joke game, and there's a lot to it. Like I said, it's like a collection of mini games. I think if if I had to give a recommendation of how the game could be improved, maybe instead of every single quest just being oh, do a play with these cards, maybe it could have been you know, maybe some actual quests like take this to here, or, you know, or hey, I want you to talk to this person while wearing this costume. You know, just some things like that. And, you know, maybe make the mini games a bit more involved. You know, I would definitely increase reaction times and all of that. Overall, it's it's hard pressed to actually recommend this game as something that you should spend money on and play, you know. But but the thing is like it's made well enough to where it's not even a game you could make fun of with your friends, you know. And I really don't like just saying it's a bad game, but I've probably already run out of footage to put just because it mostly is just walking and talking, and then after that, just repetition. You know, just the same thing over and over again, the same mini game until you figure out that combination. And oh geez, this is probably my longest rambling reviews yet. So yeah, this game is definitely a 3 or 4, at least on my scale. I had a little bit of fun playing it, but definitely way more frustration. So, yeah. So that's going to be it for me. If there are other games you want me to do a Ramblin' Reviews on, or if you think I should somehow improve Ramblin' Reviews, once again, leave a comment below, because right now the whole idea of Ramblin' Reviews is I sit down and ramble, you know? Uh, Maybe I can start classifying these as sleep aids, because I was rewatching one of my own videos, you know, to see if it actually need editing, and I tell you, I fell asleep watching it. So maybe I can just classify this as throw it on in the background and help you fall asleep. But yeah, so I don't have a hint for the next Let's Play because, well, I still don't know what Let's Play I want to do, and there's still currently a Let's Play going on. I think it's Suicide Guy. I think that's the one that's currently going on. Well, whenever I get around to editing this video, it might change. But yeah, so if there's other things you want me to do, or if there's just things you want me to do on the channel, like if you want me to revisit an old game, if there's a particular game you actually want me to play, like let me know, guys. I'm open to this stuff, right? It's a Let's Play channel, you know. I know I bulk record, but the whole idea is that it's me and you. We do things together. But yeah, so that's going to be it for me. And I really do hope you enjoyed this episode of Ramblin' Reviews. So as always, stay safe, have fun, and have a great day.